Good day to you all, and welcome to TrueAwesomes.com, Awesome Chat Live, the weekly chat with interesting people about whatever comes up. My name is JP Adkins, and if you're joining us live, please leave some questions down in the comments. If you're seeing a rebroadcast, please let us know what you think. Today's guest is the beautiful and talented Lisa Worrall. While she's getting in, let's talk a little bit about Lisa. She can't hear about us anyways. Lisa's the author of over 10 novels, including Nanny for Need, Behind the Mask, and the Laurel Heights series. She's the mother of 2 children and still finds time to do some editing, along with mine, along with writing her best-selling novels. Lisa, are you with us?
How are you?
I'm good. I told you technology hates me.
Am I there? You are there. Hello.
Okay, you're listening in a different... Close the other browser.
Oh, hang on.
Can you see me?
I can... Hang on, just one sec then.
Okay, but I can't hear you.
Oh, for goodness sake, come on.
There we go.
There, hurrah.
Yay!
Are we on?
We are on.
Oh, thank
Technology
goodness. I told you it hates me. Hates me. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Yeah, really good today. Did some writing today, and now it's early evening, so we're getting to the going to bed hour, which is the one I like the best.
I can imagine. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us. So, one of the
Thank you for
questions
having me.
that we have is, what made you start reading male novels?
Okay, it's all my friend Teresa's fault, actually. She read slash fiction in the supernatural fandom, and when she found out that I'd written a few stories and whatever, she asked me if I would write her a MM story for her birthday, and I did, and that was it really, and it went on from there. And then a friend of mine, RJ Scott, said that she thought I should submit something to Dream Spinner Press, which I did, and the rest, as they say, is history.
So Dream Spinner was your first publisher?
They were, yep, and I am still with them as well. They're fabulous people up there.
I have a lot of people that, a lot of my clients actually love them a lot.
Yeah, they're so well organised. They've been doing it for so long, so they know exactly what they're doing, and it's just, you can just submit in, once you've submitted and been accepted, you can kind of take a sigh of relief because you know that it's in good hands, and you can just sit back and hope that somebody buys it.
Well, with you, that's not a problem. So, what do you think about all the recent talk about women writing MM novels?
I think that women have got just as much right to write MM novels as men have writing romance novels with MF, really. I mean, men have as much insight into women as women have into men, so I don't really see what all the fuss is about. You just kind of, your imagination takes you where it wants to go. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Probably a very safe answer, but
you have to do the safe PG answer, I guess.
well, yeah. Plus the fact that it's quite, it's quite interesting, quite nice to write MM novels. It's also nice to show that. I mean, a lot of men, I think that they don't have a romantic side, and I don't see why men shouldn't tell each other they love each other just because they're men, and they don't do that sort of thing. They just nod and walk away, and they're supposed to have said everything in that single nod. But I just love writing what I write, and people seem to like it so far, touch wood.
I love it. So, who is the person that most influenced you, and how did they influence you?
As for writing, um, I want to be Sue Brown when I grow up, to be honest, because um, she's the way she weaves a love story, and Miss Logan as well. Um, I know she's got all her whips and chains and paddles and things that and doesn't change her underwear very often, but the way she actually intricately weaves the love story through all the slapping is just fabulous. They are they are the wind beneath my wings. They're the ones that say to me when I'm like, right, that's it, I've had enough. They're the ones that not usually give me a good slap, and especially Logan, because she obviously likes that sort of thing.
Obviously.
And so, yeah, I would say that going through the publishing route, the biggest inspirations have been Sue Brown and Patricia Logan for me.
If you could have
And she's
written,
not paying me either.
I'm sorry?
She's not paying me. I actually said that off the top of my head.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
my money has changed hands.
The check is in the mail. I'm sure.
No, I've heard that from her before. Yeah.
So, if you could have written any book, what would it have been?
Any book at all?
Yep.
That's a good question. That's really weird because the first book that popped into my head then was one of the first books I ever read, and that's Black Beauty. So if I could have written anything, if I could have written Black Beauty, that would have been, yeah. Or It by Stephen King. That's one of my other favourites.
Well, it was
You
always
weren't
good.
expecting me to say something, have an epiphany or anything, were you? Because I was just going to go for the horror.
So, if I could ask you, um, if you had a time machine, what era would you go back to, and would you change anything?
Oh. I'd probably go back to 4 years ago and not let my son get away with not cleaning his room. Um, I would say the 50s. I was definitely born in the wrong era. I would say the 50s. And would I change anything? Yeah, I wouldn't. If I was, yeah, I would marry Elvis Presley and never let him out of my sight. There you go. That's what I'd change.
That's awesome.
Then all those fangirls wouldn't have sweaty handkerchiefs because I'd be standing in the wings with a rolling pin.
Here in the U.S., we've been dealing with a lot of racial tensions. I don't know if you heard of across the pond. There was an unarmed black teen was killed by a cop recently in this small
Yeah.
town. Um, what what how did I what are race relations like on the other side of the pond?
I think they are pretty much the same over here, if you like. I mean, I know obviously you don't hear of shootings and that sort of thing over here as much as you do in America, where guns are more available as such. But um, I also think that I don't know. I mean, it was quite shocking to find that they'd shot this poor boy, and it's unbelievable to me that someone, just because they wear a badge, feels that they have the right to do that. I mean, over here there is a lot of racial tension all the time. I mean, in the area that I live, and even in the street that I live, we don't have it. We're a predominantly white neighbourhood, which is, you know, odd to me because, I mean, I've raised the children not to be racist at all. I'm not racist in any way, shape or form, never have been. Even though I was raised in quite a racially motivated household, but it's not something that I've ever been governed by. And I would like to think that the British police would have at least spoken to him first. But I really don't know how to answer that, really, how to say. I think you're gonna get one person who feels one way and one person, and then the next person standing next to them feels completely different, which is a shame in our society because everybody is the same as far as I'm concerned. You know, and it's just horrible now. I mean, his entire life has been snuffed out because, you know, I've got the badge, I've got the gun, and your skin's slightly darker than mine, so therefore it must be your fault. And I don't understand that mentality at all, because the crimes over here are probably committed more by white people than they are by black ones.
Yeah, it's really hard I agree, it's really hard. You would be very hard pressed to find three people that have the same thought on that topic
Yeah.
over here also, which is one of the reasons I asked the question. How would that differ? Do you think there will ever be peace in the Middle East?
I would like to think so. I would hope so. I have an awful habit of not actually of watching as little news as I possibly can, because although obviously I want to know what's going on in the world, I think the news is more frightening than any movie any man could make. So I don't know. I really would hope that they could end their differences, because I mean a lot of people's differences, I think, also stem from people that have probably been dead for years. I mean, the unease in that country has been going on for so long that why haven't they come together and found a way? You know, the new generations you would expect would have as ideas change over the years, you would expect that the new generations coming up would at least try to adopt some of these ideas, but then you get people who are have it so ingrained by, you know, politicians and family, and they think they're supposed to be one way, that I don't think they will ever, you know, they're just not thinking of everybody else. It's almost like it's I don't know, it's like a pissing contest now, isn't it? It's who can shoot more people. It's just, I don't understand it. I just don't understand why people can't get together and talk. Isn't that the whole point of government? So aren't you supposed to get together and talk about them and that sort of thing? I don't know.
I think that's the best way to put that, is that it's been a big pissing contest, seeing who is right and who is wrong and who can kill the most people lately.
Exactly. It's, you know, you've got to sit back, and I know, you know, you've got to worry about what has happened in the past, but it is in the past. So where you've got one religious leader who wants to do something 20, 30 years ago, why are they still carrying it on when they should have been able to get together? And I mean, the voice is the best weapon, surely, and they should be using them rather than guns. You know, I don't know. I mean, stupid. I don't even really know how to answer that question, to be honest, but it's just, they need a fortnight with their Auntie Lisa is what they need.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree. So on to life's big questions. What do you think happens when you die?
When I die,
Mm-hmm.
My children will dance very, very loudly. I believe, I do believe in all that supernatural stuff, and I believe there has got to be somewhere better than this. I mean, obviously life is what you make it, but there has got to be somewhere more. It can't just end with the flick of a switch. Although I'm sure my son's finger will be on it. I think I've always had this ultimate feeling that when I die, my mum and dad will be waiting for me. And as I tell my children, you know, my mum went to heaven to start building a house. Then my dad followed her to help her put the roof on. And we're all getting our own room when we get there, and we'll all live in the same house together and be together forever. I'm not entirely sure how impressed they are by that thought, but that's what I believe. There is a heaven. There is something else, whether it's your own personal heaven where you're sitting in a park feeding the ducks forever, which sounds quite nice to me, unless it's that swan comes along that tried to eat my mum's loaf of bread, then I think everything would be quite nice. I know that when I go I'll be waiting for my children, and they'll know I'll be waiting for them. So that sounds really sappy and disgusting, doesn't it?
You know, it's lovely, and it's just a beautiful thought that someone is waiting for you, and you will be waiting for them. The next.
Yeah.
What makes you?
Yeah.
What makes you smile?
What makes me smile? My children. I know it's really corny and pathetic. Well, obviously, innuendo makes me smile a lot because I am very good at it. But my children just are a constant source. Well, you see them on Facebook a lot. A constant source of hilarity. And I don't think there has ever been a day gone by that we have not laughed at something. Usually it's at each other. But, you know, there's laughter in this house a lot. And I couldn't imagine living in a house where there's not a lot of laughter, because that's all we do all day. We just laugh at each other. And my daughter comes up with the most amazing, ridiculous things that, because, you know, she's in her own little world. She lives with the fairies. So it's laughter. And Mummy makes me smile whenever I hear that. Unless, of course, it's like 6 times in a row and then I don't smile. But the sound of Mummy, yeah, I like being called Mummy. And it has to be Mummy. I've told him he's not allowed to call me Mum until I'm 11. He's 11. When he goes to senior school, he can stop, but until then it's Mummy.
That's awesome. What makes you cry?
Vodka. To be honest, if I'm absolutely honest, and both the kids will go, yeah, that is it. Anything. I cried when Smurfette's mouse died. I cry at the drop of a hat. You know, I've only got to read something, or, you know, cute puppies make me cry, that sort of thing. And it's just, I'm a typical Piscean. I'm very emotional. And so, yeah, but what really makes me cry? I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be vodka.
Vodka?
Yeah. Don't drink. It's depressive. You won't
Yeah.
get the happy elixir if you get drunk on vodka.
My alcohol I can't drink is tequila because my clothes fall off.
Excellent. Hang on, let me just write that down.
Yeah. For next time. Next time we see each other.
You bring a bottle of vodka. I'll bring a bottle of tequila, and then I can cry all over your nakedness.
You know, it'd be perfect. And
it is. It sounds like most of my first dates, actually.
Sounds like a good fun date. So what makes a great friend?
Someone who knows you and likes you anyway, and someone who knows everything about you. I have my best friend's name is Angela, and I've known her 37 years, which I'm feeling very old. But sometimes we don't go for a year without seeing each other, but then when we get together, it's as though we only saw each other the day before. And I have a very lovely circle of friends around me who have been very supportive during times when things haven't been so fabulous, and and I haven't been so nice, and they're still there. To me, a true friend is someone who knows who you are, warts and all, and just doesn't give a shit, and who would help you bury a body with no question. Petra would bring her trailer. She's up for that. She's all ready for when I snap.
Well, you tend to last I heard you were cutting off men's penises, so.
Yes. Figuratively, as opposed to literally, yeah.
So what is the best advice you have ever received?
Writing-wise, or just in life?
Either way.
Best advice I ever received writing-wise was from a lovely lady who's no longer with us. She was one of my LiveJournal friends, and she once said to me, "The only limit you have on your dreams are the ones you set for yourself." And I just thought that was, and that's true, because you can achieve anything. The only time you're not going to achieve it is when you're not putting everything into it. And the other best piece of advice I had was just before I started work, and I was 16 and terrified, and my dad and I wasn't particularly shy, playing one in the back, and my dad said to me, "Go in there, treat people how you expect to be treated, and everything will be fine." And it was. So that's the best piece of advice I've ever had.
That is just lovely.
And don't leave your windows open when it's raining. That's a fabulous piece of advice.
That's a really good piece of advice. So I have a couple questions from the A teams.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah. Your first question is from Patricia Logan.
Oh, God.
She wants to know why you smell like cheese.
Because I'm British, damn you. We all smell like cheese. Don't you people know this? I don't smell like cheese. Well, not every time. I think she may be referring to one of the names I like to call her most, which is Cheese Dip.
I heard it's knob cheese, actually.
It's what?
Knob cheese.
Knob cheese. Yeah, knob cheese. That is a typical Essex comment. Knob cheese. Hairy knob spanner.
There you go.
Whichever one you're going to go with.
And Lorraine Lesser wants to know, when you have to dig deep, where does it come from? Where does your inspiration come from?
Music. When I'm really stuck, I tend to slam on the headphones so I can't hear anybody else, crank up the volume. It's usually Nickelback or Kane or Daltrey or something like that, and just sit back and wait for it, really. I mean, I find I write better when I'm actually listening to music. If I tried to sit here and write with nothing, no sounds or anything like that, I would be actually more distracted by that than anything else. Um, Also, you may have noticed my imagination is slightly twisted and kind of wanders off at a tangent all by itself. So I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes I get inspiration from the children and they end up in the books, but I really don't know. All of a sudden, it just clicks sometimes when you're so stuck, and then talking to someone else about it kind of. If you're actually, I know I was stuck on a part a little while ago, and me and Sue Brown went for lunch, and just telling her my idea, which had sounded really stupid in my head, actually made sense as it came out of my mouth. So brainstorming with someone else is a tremendous help when you're stuck. I mean, if you're writing a book out there and you're thinking, oh my God, what do I do next? Talk to someone about it. Just say, what do you think of this? And they can either give you ideas of where they think you might be going wrong or why you're stuck, or can just say to you, yeah, it's all right. And you're past the hump, which is really weird. I know it sounds really stupid, but that's how it works for me sometimes. Even Logan is helpful.
She said something to me once that was really helpful, and it was just listen to the voices, because I had 50 voices going on in my head at the time. And she said, listen to the voices, and it worked.
Exactly. You have this idea in your head of where you think your characters are going, and they're like, no, I don't think so. And then you start off in one place, and then all of a sudden you think, it was just like my son said to me the other day, just a passing comment was said about something, and then we went on this complete random meandering and ended up at somewhere that was completely polar opposite to what had been said. And he said, isn't it amazing that we just started there and then we got to there and we don't know how we did it? And I said, that's a bit like what writing is, really. You start there and then 3 chapters in you're thinking, I didn't do that, did I do that? I didn't mean for them to do that, but they obviously wanted to do that. So
yeah, my character jumps off a building. I don't know how that happened. I would never do it, but okay, there you go. Have fun.
yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd be cutting off penises for a living, you know. It wasn't something I woke up and suddenly thought, oh. But I can be a little bit darker with this one, so.
So tell me about your latest release.
My latest release is Thirst, is the re-release of Thirst, which comes out on the 12th of September with Dream Spinner. It was originally a silver title, and Dream Spinner have taken it, and it's had a complete overhaul, and it's added bits in that I wanted to add in, and yeah, I'm a lot happier with this version than I was with the original, to be honest. And it's coming out on the 12th. And it's about a vampire who helps a detective solve the mystery of serial killings that look like they've been drained of blood, and he thinks it might be him, and it's not him. And it's just they fall in love and la 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 la, and traipse through the sunset together. But it's really nice, and it is a little bit dark because the vampire in it is not Edward. He's not going to apologise for what he does at all. As far as he's concerned, he's a vampire, and that's it. If you don't like it, get your bowling bag and bugger off. But and the other character's a policeman, so he has a bit of difficulty coming to terms with that. So, he's supposed to be saving people, not letting him go off and have a midnight snack.
Yeah, that always is a problem when the cop actually has to let you go off for a midnight snack.
It's okay. Yeah, just hold that thought. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I've just got to go kill someone around the corner.
So what are you working on now?
I'm working on Laurel Heights 2, which I wrote Laurel Heights 2 years ago, and I've been asked nicely to do a second one. They've been on at me for years. And what I really wanted is I wanted to make sure it was going to be good. So it was good because it was only ever meant to be a standalone story, but apparently I did a nasty cliffhanger thing at the end and everybody wanted to hurt me. So I really wanted it to be good, and I think I've managed to come up with an idea that is as good, if not better than the first one. So hopefully they'll be happy with it. And I'm halfway through, so I'm hoping that it gets finished by the end of this month, and then I can run and hide.
Never.
Because they might want to hurt me again.
And how would you like to use your A-team here on True Awesome?
I don't know. I'm always completely gobsmacked that anybody wants to read anything anyway, to be honest. So to have people who've joined my team and, and like the stuff that much is just awesome to me. Join my A-team. Keep coming to my A-team. I promise I won't, make you get in the plane or try to drug you, and the van won't blow up at the end of the day, and it'll be fun.
And is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't?
No. I've done very well. Don't ask me something that I don't want you to ask me. The only thing you haven't mentioned is the dog.
Yeah,
but,
Yeah.
She's okay. I mean, obviously it's very difficult. She got up about 10 minutes ago, had her dinner, and now she's having her after dinner nap because obviously it takes a lot of effort.
Obviously.
Yeah. I don't know whether she's English and therefore naturally lazy. I don't know.
I put Teddy in with Ed so that he didn't bark through this one like he did the last one.
Well, Winnie has been here the entire time, on my feet, where she stays all the time when I'm writing. So if I've got the laptop open, that's where she positions herself, and she won't move until I do.
Sounds like a plan.
Which gets up about 3 times a day. So.
Well, I really appreciate you coming and visiting with us today, and
It's fun.
we'll be posting this interview on TrueAwesome.com under the Awesome Chat Live. Please check out the Awesome Store to see Lisa's books, although I don't know if they're actually there yet, but they will be very, very soon. And you can join us next.
That's Jeff's subtle way of saying, Lisa, you haven't done it yet.
She could just send them over to me, and I can do them for her. And we could please join me next Tuesday as we chat with incomparable Joelle Castile. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Bye.
Bye.